Hey team, so many of you played an incredible role in what happened in the last 2 weeks in our community. Whether it was you volunteering your time as we became a shelter and a place for people to get help when they needed it in the midst of tragedy, that was amazing. Or whether it was just the fact that as group leaders, like we got to care for hundreds of people as our city again descended into chaos. It felt like we were the lifeline of checking in and noticing people and putting up people in our houses as they were evacuated. All these different things that happened that were just incredible. It was amazing to watch the span of care widen as things went crazy. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for all the texts and the calls that you've put in over a long period of time, but especially this last 2 weeks, it was incredible. So I think as we come off of a crisis like this, and I know it's still happening, but as we come off of it in our city specifically, a lot of us start to think like, well, now what? We stayed really flexible and nimble as a church in the last couple weeks so we could drop everything to be a resource to our community, and it was awesome. But then as we look toward the future, and we're looking at 2018 thinking, what do we do now? It really starts to become a big question because we had plans and we had ideas and we had thoughts about what it would look like, but at the same time we want to stay that flexible as a church. We want to be ready to meet the needs of our community and figure out how to be a resource and a light in our city as we move forward. So that changes a lot of things about how we do groups, especially because we've focused a lot on the session calendar for a long time. And making sure that all of our groups were in session at the same time. It's a great way to start new groups, but one thing that hurts right now is the fact that relationships like the ones that we've worked hard to create, safe communities, safe circles, circles that feel like family, circles where people can process big questions and tough questions about God. Those are like gold right now in our city, in our community. Anytime we come off of a season like this, those relationships are absolute gold, and we want to lean in and not be sitting on the sidelines waiting to play our part in people's lives and people's walks with God. And so what I want us to do is focus in a new direction in this coming season to make sure that we get to take advantage of all the hard work that we've put in investing in people and creating those safe communities. So what I think that looks like as we start 2018 is I want to all of us to ask two important questions as we start the year right away, and even before that. And that's, what does my group need right now? What are the real needs of my people, both spiritual, emotional, tangible, whatever they are? What does my group need right now? And how can our calendar meet that need? How can being together meet that need? And the reason for that is I want us to feel, all of us, to feel the permission, but then also the responsibility to be able to meet our group's needs right now in a way that doesn't feel like going off rogue in some other direction or breaking from the official calendar or anything like that. I want to give us all the leeway, but also, again, the feeling of responsibility to look at our group, realize the needs, and just reach out and meet them. So how that's going to look is I want to make sure that there are going to be discussion guides available for every week in January specifically as we get rolling, and we're going to be starting new groups like the beginning of February. That's still a really good time to do that. There's going to be a really important series for the life of our church happening throughout February. It's going to be super important, so you're going to want to make sure to be in session for that. But at the same time, I don't want us to wait for the chance to create the consistency and normalcy and the laughter and the closeness that people really need right now. I don't want us to all wait on the sidelines for that. I want us to be able to lean in. So you'll also see like an attendance reminder, a little thing like that, an attendance reminder each week, and that's just there so you can fill it out when you meet, but then also you can just hit did not meet. It's a quick little button on there when you don't, and so that's going to be an easy thing too. I want to make sure that you're equipped to jump right in and meet your group's needs, because when it comes down to it, you are the one as a leader who knows your people better than anybody else, who is more responsible for your people than anybody else, and feels the weight of the individuals that you have come to invest in and love and care for. And I want you to be able to feel empowered to meet the needs of your people in a way that only you know how, because it's true that only you know how. You're the one that's investing, and I'm so thankful for all the time and the effort that we all put in, and I want us to be able to take advantage of that. When I say those relationships are like gold right now, I really do mean it. I really mean it. We just did a giant survey thing over like for anybody that was in a group this fall, and like almost 100 responses have come in, and the things that people have to say about their experiences in group and the experiences that they have like in these safe circles where they get to process through their life with God are unbelievable. And I'll share some of them with you, especially the ones that are from your group, but it's unbelievable how much traction we can gain with people in their spiritual lives just by creating these safe circles and asking questions together. So I want you to know how important you are and how big of a role you play in people's lives and their understandings of God, and I want us to be able to jump in right away together. So I'd love to help you figure that out. Your coach would love to help you figure that out and brainstorm what it looks like for your group specifically, but know that you are important, you are supported, and this is our chance. This is our chance to jump in and really care for people in a time where our community is in desperate need of it, and we're going to gain a lot of ground in people's spiritual lives, I think, in a season like this, because that's exactly what God always does. So I love you. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the ways you serve people at Mission, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.